Okay, we are calculating the standard deviation. Now, this one is a little more involved, and we will be using our calculators for this. So I've brought mine up on the screen. We're actually going to enter the statistics mode on the calculator, which we can do by clicking on mode and then number 2 for statistics. Then we can enter either one variable or any of the others. We're only going to do one variable, so we're going to click on number 1. And we just put in the data. So as we put these in, like we're going to put in 3 and then equals, and that moves us down to the next row. So 5 equals 10 equals, I'm going to stop, I'm going to type it so that I can actually do it a bit quicker. 14, 14, 17, 22, 24, 24, 27, 27, 28, 33, 38, 40, 40, 41, 43, 44, 45, 45, 46, 50, 52, 52, 55, 55, 58, and 95. So you can also have a look there now and see that you've put in 30 pieces of data. That matches with however many we had, so we haven't missed anything. Normally I would cross it off as I go. All right, so now we've got that, we need to actually use this data to find the standard deviation. Now, the hardest part of doing this is this next one. I'm going to click on the all clear button. This normally freaks people out because as soon as I do that, it looks as though everything's gone. However, if you go back into the stats, so if I go shift stats, so shift number 1, and go number 2 to go back to the data, you'll notice it's all still there. So pressing all clear does not delete the data, it just clears the screen and gets you ready to go. We're going to go back into that section, the statistics one. So we're going to hit shift and 1 to get into the stats. And you've got a few options here. Now, depending on your type of calculator, you may have different ones. We've got type, we've got data, we've got sum, we've got var for variable, and number 5 is for min max. Now, we're going to start just by going to number 1, click, and then all of a sudden that's giving us all of our different types of data. Now, the data we had was one variable, so one var, number 1. And we're going to keep it like that. So I'll just hit the all clear to get out of that because we don't need to be in there. Shift 1 to get back to stats. Then you've got data, sum, variable, and min max. If we went to min max, it's going to show us that our minimum is 3. So if I click on 1, bang, and hit equals, it says, hey, your minimum is 3. And if I went to max, it would show us 95. So let's all clear that and go shift 1 back in there. Where we actually want to go, I'll go back into there for a sec. You'll notice it's also got Q1, Q3. So that's our interquartiles. So we could have put them in, and if I go to number 3, it's going to find Q1. It'll tell me it's 22, which is what we got in the previous question. So it's good to know we were right. I'll clear that. Shift 1 again. So where we actually want to go is to variables. So number 4, click on that. And all of a sudden you've got 4 different variables. You've got n, which is the number of pieces of data, which we know is 30. Then you've got x with a little bar on top, which we know is the mean. So that will do the mean for you, or the average, which is really handy when you've got a large set of scores. The next one you've got is delta x, which is actually the population standard deviation. And then you've got SX, which is the sample standard deviation. So they will come out with slightly different answers. The reason for that is if you've got population of scores in there, then that's fine. Your your population standard deviation will give you the exact standard deviation for that set of scores. If you, however, have got a sample, so you don't have every score out there, like if you're trying to do a standard deviation of people's earnings in Australia, you're not going to have every person's earnings. So you use the sample standard deviation for that, and it takes into account the fact that you do not have a total population. We, on the other hand, do have a total population, so we're going to use number 3. We're going to click on that, and I'm going to hit equals, and it gives us 19.25. So 19.25328. So what we're going to do is scroll. There we go. So task A, and it is delta X is, and I've forgotten already, it is 19.25328, 19.25328, and then we'll do the sample one. So we just hit all clear, shift 1, variable, and we're going to use S of X this time, and it'll give us 19.5824, 19.5824. And you'll notice that, yes, the sample one is slightly higher. Now, you can do exactly the same process for task B. You can go through and find its one. I'm going to assume that I've just done that rather than making you sit through me using the calculator again. And you'll get 23.3 for the population one and 23.69 for the sample one. Now, we will have talked about what standard deviation actually means, but that's how you calculate